After Trump appeared to tap Iran once again, Mojtaba Khamenei has come out breathing fire against the United States with a fierce warning. Iran's Supreme Leader has now openly challenged Donald Trump, invoking the Great Satan in a sharp message aimed at Washington. Mojtaba is rallying Iranians to stand united, as signs grow that Tehran may be preparing for a dangerous new phase of conflict with the US and Israel. As Trump's diplomatic push appears to lose momentum, Mojtaba has begun laying out steps for what comes next. As war clouds darken once again, Iran's Supreme Leader has issued a powerful new warning aimed directly at the United States and Israel. Mojtaba Khamenei, in a written statement released on May 28, accused America of deliberately trying to sow division inside Iran. The Supreme Leader's latest message was delivered on the anniversary of Iran's parliament, carrying both political and symbolic weight. Mojtaba called on Iranians to stand united against what he described as a US-Israeli attempt to fracture the nation from within. Iran's Supreme Leader further urged citizens to preserve unity, describing it as both a national responsibility and a religious duty. Mojtaba Khamenei said, and I quote, "The enemy's blind plan, after the imposed war, the economic pressure, and the political and propaganda siege, is to create divisions and disintegration in order to compensate for military defeats and bring the nation to its knees. One example of piety is preserving the great blessing of national unity and the unparalleled cohesion granted to the awakened nation around the flag of Islamic Iran, which is among the most important factors of victory against the Great Satan." End quote. Mojtaba also warned Iran's political leadership against allowing internal disagreements to grow into deeper national divisions. Iran's lead negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf was also praised in the statement amid ongoing diplomatic engagement with Washington. This comes amid reports of differences between Mojtaba Khamenei and Ghalibaf over the conditions surrounding a possible peace agreement. Mojtaba Khamenei said, and I quote, "The enemy's blind plan after the imposed war, economic pressure, and propaganda and political siege is to create division and social fragmentation in order to compensate for its defeats on the battlefield and bring the nation to its knees. Those who care about Islam, the revolution, or Iran's independence should not turn unwarranted and even warranted differences into conflict and division." End quote. Additionally, Mojtaba laid out a broader post-war roadmap for how Iran should rebuild after conflict with the US and Israel. He called for stronger economic stability while urging leaders to maintain firm positions against what he called arrogant global powers. Mojtaba Khamenei said, and I quote, "The seat of a representative is considered a frontline trench of transformation on the path of the country's progress. Priorities are reconstructing the country, resolving the people's concerns, especially economic and livelihood issues, boosting production and employment, advancing science and industry, elevating culture and ethics, fighting financial corruption, curbing inflation and high prices, and realizing total eradication of poverty. Parliamentary legislation must have a direct and visible relationship with the country's main issues and the needs of the people, and must be oriented toward creating hope and building the country's future." End quote. Mojtaba also taunted the United States by invoking Iran's victory against what he once again called the Great Satan. In the written address, he outlined what appeared to be Iran's next strategic posture against both Washington and Tel Aviv. Mojtaba said, and I quote, "Maintain courage and declare clear, uncompromising positions in the face of pressure from powerful foreign adversaries. Remain strategically focused on Iran's new role and influence across the region and the wider world. Protect national unity as one of the country's greatest political and strategic blessings. Preserve Iran's unmatched internal cohesion, which Mojtaba described as central to victory against the Great Satan." Mojtaba Khamenei's latest warning comes just after the United States reportedly carried out fresh overnight strikes on May 28. Fresh US strikes reportedly targeted a suspected Iranian military site overnight as tensions continue escalating across the Gulf region. American officials claimed the targeted Iranian site posed a direct threat to US forces and shipping through Hormuz. Reuters reported the latest American military action on May 27, citing a senior official speaking anonymously about the operation. The fresh strikes came despite a fragile ceasefire that had already been under severe pressure from both sides. US officials also claimed multiple Iranian drones were intercepted and destroyed during the latest military operations in the region. Washington alleged the drones threatened both American military assets and commercial maritime traffic near the Strait of Hormuz. The overnight operation had not been publicly disclosed before anonymous officials confirmed details to Reuters on Wednesday. Trump insisted the Strait of Hormuz would remain open under continued American monitoring and military pressure against Iran. Notably, the United States already carried out what it called defensive strikes against Iran earlier this week. Iran accused Washington of repeatedly violating the fragile ceasefire through continued military operations and escalating regional attacks. Previous U.S. operations targeted suspected Iranian mine-laying boats and missile launch facilities near key maritime routes. CENTCOM claimed those earlier Iranian-linked targets threatened both U.S. military personnel and international shipping routes across the Gulf. Meanwhile, Iranian media reported 3 explosions near Bandar Abbas as tensions sharply escalated overnight across southern Iran. Iran activated its air defense systems for several minutes while authorities investigated the cause of the explosions near Bandar Abbas. Iran International's report said, and I quote, "Iranian media reported that 3 explosions were heard east of the southern port city of Bandar Abbas at around 1:30 a.m. local time on Wednesday, adding that air defenses were activated for several minutes and that authorities are investigating the source of the sounds." Unquote. U.S. officials claimed Iran launched 4 drones toward an American-linked ship near the Strait of Hormuz recently. According to Axios, U.S. forces intercepted and destroyed all 4 drones before they could strike their intended targets. The latest escalation came shortly after Trump declared that nobody would be allowed to control the Strait of Hormuz militarily. Trump made the remarks amid reports suggesting Iran and Oman were discussing a possible new framework governing Hormuz shipping routes. On May 27, Donald Trump also warned Mojtaba to make a deal quickly, or America would finish the job.
We made the largest ever investment in U.S. military, $1 trillion, and we're asking actually for $1.5 trillion for the coming year. And we have the strongest military anywhere in the world, as you know. You saw what we did with Venezuela. That worked out very quickly. And we're doing really equally as well with, but again, people don't want to write about it, with Iran. Iran is very much intent. They want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there. We're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll have to just finish the job. But their Navy is gone, as I've said 1,000 times. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Everything's gone, and they're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't. Right now, I mean, you can speak to Steve Witkoff and Jared. They're doing a good job. But right now, I think it looks like they want to just make a deal. They want to. They have. I don't think they have a choice. They're just going back to the internet because they're getting clobbered. Their economy is in free fall. They have 250% inflation. Their money has no value. Their whole economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms. People understand it. They know that. Very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm doing that for the world. I'm not doing it just for us. And we've had great support from other nations, by the way. We don't need it at all, but we've had great support from other nations. The problem is you always get the support when you don't need it. When you need it, you don't get the support. With Operation Epic Fury, our warriors are ensuring that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror never obtains a nuclear weapon, and they won't. The stock market has set 68 all-time record highs since the election. So 68 days, we hit all-time highs. We're right there now. And the average 401k, and that's despite the conflict. I don't call it a war, I call it a conflict. Despite the conflict with Venezuela, who no longer has a Navy, no longer has an Air Force, no longer has a lot of people that were leading the country into very bad places. Their leadership is gone. Their second-rung leadership is gone, and we're dealing with their third, half of their third, because half of their third is gone too.